In Chicago 2018, Ethan Cole, a 27-year-old tech enthusiast from Chicago, had always been drawn to the unknown corners of the internet. It was late one evening when, during a routine late-night scroll, he stumbled upon an unusual listing on the dark web. The title was short and cryptic: "Do not order this box. It is already too late." There was no price, no description, just a cold, eerie message warning anyone who would dare to click. Ethan, thinking it was some sort of twisted marketing stunt, couldn't resist. After all, who wouldn't be intrigued by such an ominous warning? He clicked buy now without a second thought. He didn't enter his address, assuming it was part of the gimmick. Maybe the seller was trying to create an air of mystery, or maybe it was an elaborate joke. But 2 days later, to his shock, a plain black wooden box appeared on his doorstep. No sender, no return address. Just the box itself. What was even more unsettling was that the box was already open, as if someone had been waiting for him. Inside, Ethan found 3 items that immediately set his heart racing. A Polaroid photo of himself, sitting at his desk, browsing on his computer. A torn piece of a map with a red X marking a location 40 miles outside the city. A blood-stained wristwatch, the blood still fresh, as if someone had worn it recently. The Polaroid photo chilled him to the bone. How had they taken this picture? And why was the blood on the watch still warm? His mind raced with possibilities, but one question lingered above the others. How had they found him? Against all reason, his curiosity won. He had to know what this was about. That night, driven by an insatiable need for answers, Ethan grabbed his keys and drove to the location marked on the map. The air was thick with tension as he approached an abandoned house in a secluded part of the woods. The house was exactly as the map had described: old, decaying, with rotting wood and boarded-up windows. Yet something was different. A second black box, identical to the first, was sitting on the doorstep. His heart pounded in his chest as he cautiously approached the box and, with trembling hands, opened it. Inside was a cassette tape, labeled simply, "You left me here." His stomach twisted. There was no way this was real, but he had to know what was on the tape. He drove home in a daze and, in the privacy of his room, inserted the cassette into his player. The tape crackled to life. A soft, eerie sound filled the room, the sound of a young child crying. It was heart-wrenching, desperate. Then a whisper pierced the silence. "Ethan, why did you lock the door?" Chills ran down his spine. Ethan had no memory of being in that house. The question didn't make sense. Was this some kind of sick joke? The next few days were a blur of confusion, but that night everything changed. As he lay in bed, his mind replaying the voice from the tape, something in his room caught his eye. A new box lying on the floor beside his bed. It was empty, except for a mirror. Curious, Ethan stared into it, but as he gazed into the glass, his reflection didn't match. Instead of his own face, he saw the child from the tape. The boy with hollow eyes staring at him in the reflection. The mirror shattered. The room went dark. In Seattle 2021, Jenna B., a 24-year-old woman from Seattle, had always loved a good thrill. As an avid social media influencer, she often sought out strange experiences to share with her followers. One evening, she stumbled across an ad on the dark web for a haunted object mystery box. The description was vague, but it promised an experience like no other. Only for those who dare to experience what others cannot. Are you ready? Something about the ad intrigued her, and after a few moments of hesitation, she clicked buy now. She thought it would be the perfect material for her next video, a piece of content to shock her fans. 2 weeks passed, and Jenna almost forgot about the box. That is, until one day, a plain brown package appeared outside her apartment door. No return address, no label, just a simple, unmarked box. With a sense of unease creeping over her, she opened it. Inside was a small straw doll with black threads sewn over its eyes and mouth, making it look like a grotesque, lifeless figure. It gave off an eerie aura. The doll was accompanied by a handwritten note that read, "We chose you. Keep it safe." Jenna's skin crawled. It felt like something was watching her, but she dismissed it as part of the experience, something to add to the narrative she would share with her followers. That night, she threw the doll in the trash, hoping it would be gone for good. The next morning, as the sun barely broke through her curtains, Jenna was jolted awake by a loud knock at her door. She rushed to answer it. There on the doorstep was the same package, unopened. With a sinking feeling, she opened the box. The same doll stared up at her, and inside a new note read, "You threw me away. Don't do it again." Her pulse quickened. Fear gripped her, but she didn't want to seem weak or gullible. She took the box and tossed it in a dumpster across town, far from her apartment, hoping it would end. That night, she heard the softest knock, almost like a whisper in the darkness. Hesitant, she checked the kitchen. To her absolute horror, the box was back on the counter. And the doll, it was facing her. Now truly frightened, Jenna called her best friend Lisa for reassurance. Lisa didn't believe her, thinking it was just a joke. So Jenna decided to prove it. She took the box and left it at Lisa's house, hoping that would be the end of it. But the next morning, she received a message from Lisa. "Not funny. Why did you leave it in my car?" Jenna's blood ran cold. She hadn't been near Lisa's car. The situation spiraled out of control. In an attempt to rid herself of the doll once and for all, Jenna drove deep into the woods and set the doll on fire. As the flames consumed it, she heard a faint whisper on the wind. "You shouldn't have done that." Terrified, she ran back to her car, sure that she had ended the nightmare. But when she got home, another box sat on her doorstep. Inside was a new doll, and a note that read, "Now I need a new home." The next day, Jenna deleted all her social media accounts, vanished from the internet, and was never seen again. New York, 2016, Echo 23, a college student from New York, had always been curious about the strange and mysterious. One day, he came across a listing for a Time Capsule Mystery Box on the dark web. The description was simple but ominous. "See what hasn't happened yet." It piqued his interest, and in a moment of reckless curiosity, he clicked "Buy now." Weeks later, the box arrived, and Echo 23 wasted no time opening it. Inside was a single Polaroid photo. The image was of a black sedan flipped upside down on a highway, smoke rising from the wreckage. A single shoe lay on the pavement, just beside the crash site. The photo felt familiar, but Echo 23 couldn't place why. That's when it hit him. That was his father's car. But his father's car was fine, parked outside their house. How could this be? Days passed, and Echo 23 tried to brush it off as a strange coincidence. But then it happened. His father was in a car accident. The same black sedan, the same highway, the same single shoe lying on the pavement. Echo 23 couldn't breathe. Had the box shown him the future? He couldn't believe it. But there was more. The next day, he opened the box again. This time, there was a second Polaroid. It showed his dorm room, but in the reflection of the mirror, there was a shadowy figure standing behind him. The horror set in. Echo 23 packed up and moved out of his dorm immediately, deleting his account and posting a chilling last message. "I still have the box. I'm afraid to open it again." No one knows if he ever did. The dark web is full of mysteries. Some are scams, some are cruel pranks, but some are warnings. If you ever receive a package you didn't order, don't open it. Some things cannot be returned.